a total man. Welcome to the 125th ever episode of the Dex Podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Kellz.
And today, folks, we are here once again, the second week in a row where we're actually doing exactly what we said.
Dang.
That's tight, right?
Yep.
Welcome.
Yeah,
if you're listening for the first time, this is the official podcast of the Dex on YouTube. We are a Pokemon channel, and this podcast is all about frickin' news, frickin' current events, frickin' community discussions, and reading fan mail from you guys out there as well. So that's all awesome. But before we get into that, guys, how was your Poke Weeks?
Kellz?
Mine was good.
What it sounds like you accidentally killed somebody in Pokemon. Well, like,
No, we were just trying to be polite with one another. Yeah, mine was pretty good. Like, I played a lot of Pokemon Duel this week, as we talked about last week. Jimmy and I got kind of into it.
Do you think do you guys feel 1 week later that like there's more depth to the game than you thought before, or that like I'm winding down on this?
No, I really like it. The strategies are pretty complex, and it's really exciting to kind of see how, like, you can do so many different strategies, and it makes me really excited because I'll be up against, like, someone's team that I'm like, no, I'll get this easy, and then I'm like, oh, they've got this crazy ability. How do I work this into my strategy? It's really neat.
Who are the hype guys?
I'm having a lot of fun with a Wobbuffet right now that has counter, and any Pokemon that's like got attack that's higher than 20 just automatically gets knocked out if they try to hit Wobbuffet, and he gets the counter moves selected.
He's like a counter to buff guys?
Yeah, and he can't directly attack anyone, but he can be like a really good defender of your capture point.
Is he like OU, or is there like guys that you see all the time?
He's like an uncommon figure. Or no, he's a rare figure.
Well, but I just mean, like, do you think that, like, he's, like, if there was, like, a usage chart, do you think he'd be up there?
Oh, gosh, I have no idea. I feel like the meta is not established in this game because I feel like everybody that I fight against online still has, like, their starter figures.
Oh,
so
okay.
I just don't know.
You guys don't see, like, common team comps?
I'm going to have to get, like, much higher rank before I figure out, like, what the tiers are like.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm like, you know, I'm still only like rank like 14.
Is it based on like the amount of time you spend with it, or is it like wins
and losses?
Wins and losses, yeah.
Damn. That's so hype. I wish that
It's cool.
man, like Fire Emblem dropped like 1 second after this dropped, and then now I just found out that I can play Rollercoaster Tycoon on my phone.
Yep.
Just like I
Shoutouts.
did when I was a kid, so see ya. But man, that sucks. I really would have loved to get into this if I had the time. What about you?
Well, you asked if a week later, still feeling the hype and finding new stuff. I haven't played in a week, so
Damn.
Oh.
You were so in it.
I was. But I mean, then I did buy Rollercoaster Tycoon.
See?
Wow.
Look, this is an epidemic that's sweeping YouTube right now. All these people buying Rollercoaster Tycoon.
If there was any epidemic that I would like to sweep the gaming population, it would be that they all play the classic.
Everybody buys
Rollercoaster Tycoon.
Rollercoaster Tycoon.
Yeah.
I'm like, I haven't been this excited about a mobile game in a long time. I mean, it's going to come down to the controls, let's be honest, but.
Well, I have a Galaxy Note 5 that has a tablet pen. built
That's
into
pretty
it.
perfect.
So that helps a bit. I mean, it's like having a UI interface, or a touch UI on classic Rollercoaster Tycoon is it has its stumbling blocks, but it's not the worst.
I feel you. I mean, I have a really big screen, so
Yeah.
we'll see. Hopefully, my phone, I've kind of had like a on and off like love affair with the big phone, right? Like it's really big, and like most like portable things are annoying, but like I can just like I have like bigger buttons when there's like a platformer, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm excited.
Aside from that,
Yeah.
Poke Week, Shofu's Indigo Cipher dropped.
Oh my god. Jimmy's on it, you guys.
I'm in it. I did
Yeah, go listen to that.
It's tight, yeah.
it. If you guys don't know who
It's
Shofu is,
huge.
Shofu is a Pokemon YouTuber. Does a lot of like, battles and VGC and Let's Plays and stuff. But he also releases a lot of Pokemon rap music and songs. And the ciphers are like a bunch of people get on them.
How many people are on this one?
21 different people.
Yeah, what's the actual final runtime of the song?
Of just the song, I think it's like 13 minutes and
Yeah.
in like 40 seconds
That's
or something
awesome.
like that.
Yeah, this was crazy. I listened to this and I was just like, man, like I feel for like the entire production team on this.
Me.
Like even just like mixing and mastering this song must have been
right, yeah.
God damn.
But I am in it, one, but I also did all of the editing. So all the visuals and stuff that you see, that was me. So go check that out.
Jimmy
It was
rules.
pretty cool.
Yeah, tight. I've continued to play Pokemon Sun and Moon now that we have beat it officially on for the Let's Play. Like, now all that remains is editing and airing the episodes. So I'm like just jamming through the game right now. I'm having a great time. I'm like being able to like satisfy my like OCD sort of like tendencies on the routes now. Like, because that was the one thing that was like really hard for me with the Let's Play was that I, normally on like Beard Bros, I don't really have a problem because it's a game that I never would like probably play and like by myself. You know what I mean? So I'm not like feeling frustrated by not being able to control it. But like because Kellz was playing, like, everybody plays Pokemon their own way. Like the things that I do when I'm like running around a town are different than what she would do running around a town. And so I was like, no, just go that. And so this now I get to like do it. And so it's been really great. And I'm like almost to the end. And then I'm like, I really don't know that much about the post game. I really don't. So I'm going in blind. I'm excited to like nature my Tapus and stuff. I'm so excited about it. Anything else? Anybody get anything? Buy anything? Anything like that?
I got a great T-shirt from Misky.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, she sent me her run of her Alolan Raichu T-shirt.
Oh,
I was so excited. Shoutouts to Misky. Great artist, great friend, great person.
Yes.
Just take a look at
just a
all her
true
stuff.
winner in all respects.
Yeah. And it's a great shirt. I'm so excited to wear it everywhere.
All right. And speaking of everything that's happening everywhere, let's jump into the news.
Welcome to the news, darlings.
That was a weird one.
I think a couple dogs just like stood up and started to cry.
Dude, question of the day, did your dog do it? Hashtag did your dog. If your dog did react to me, let's
My dog did.
Send me a quick Twitter vid. The 6-second ones loop now automatically.
Who did not react to you when you did that was our dog, but now he's
mad because the heater turned on or something. But yes, this is the news segment. We're going to jump in. This is what has been going on since our last podcast last week. Big thing, the first Pokemon Sun and Moon TCG set is now on sale in the US and the UK. It's appropriately named Sun and Moon, Avi. This is kind of what they do every time a new game comes out. It adds 163 new cards to the game. It adds the new GX mechanic, and it adds 3 theme decks, which are called Roaring Heat, Bright Tide, and Foreshadow, and I imagine are centered around the starters, right?
Yes, they are.
This is like, for me, I don't know why, but this is like when I'm like the least excited about the game. Is like at the beginning of a new set for some reason. And then like once it starts getting interesting is like when they start introducing the like expansions. I don't know why that is, but like my enthusiasm goes down for the game whenever new cards are out. But I really want to like, before I say that is the case this time as well, because I just thought the X and Y cards were like kind of boring. I want to like do an opening of some of these cards. So maybe we'll do that instead of the Dex Versus this week.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah, because
We'll get some cards.
maybe we can get the Elite Trainer box or something. And I just want to look at it. I haven't had a chance to like really open this up, but I am excited about the GX mechanic, which I don't even remember how that works. Do you?
You get like, you can use the move once per battle or something like that.
It's like a Z move, basically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Look, I
like, super
love Sun and
simplified,
Moon
but-
a lot. I hear that they're like making a lot of like sort of like user interface changes to the cards this time. Like, for example, the rarity marker is on the other side of the card.
Oh.
Yeah. And a couple other things, like they just change them up, but they always do that. They always change them up per like season, basically. But man, I love the Pokemon TCG. I was just talking to somebody about that the other day. Norm from the Gaming Historian, because he's like a big Magic player. He used to play Magic professionally.
Right.
And we were just talking about like how cool the Pokemon game is and how like it is a sort of like beginner's game without being like a baby game. Does that make sense? Like it's very manageable. It's like very easy to understand compared to a lot of other card games, but it still has the depth of Magic. You know what I mean? Like it's a great game, and I love building decks. Really fun stuff. So check that out and peep our channel for a pack opening video today, which will be live today on our channel. It's going to be, instead of the decks first, we're going to do a Pokemon Sun and Moon TCG pack opening. But yeah, that's that.
Cool.
PokemonCenter.com has also released the second series of Alola plushies, which includes Picky Peck, who's looking great, Rockruff, who's looking perfect,
So cute.
Togedemaru, who's looking like he's going to end up on my desk, and Kamala, who looks hilarious. In fact, Pokemon Sun and Moon Collection is featured on the site right now with a lot of Sun and Moon merch.
Still February.
So check it out. And in addition to that, a couple other things have recently been announced. Like I bought these really dope Mythical Mew socks at the World Championships last year, and they're like black background with like Mew in like sort of like a chibi style with like kind of like slightly different colors, and it has like an 80s vibe. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And
I
they
think
sort of
that it's,
expanded it. What?
I think that style officially in like the Pokemon merch canon is called Pokemon Ami or it's either Pokemon Ami or it's the Poké Doll version, but I think it's the Pokemon Ami.
Well, the line is called
Art
like
style.
Let's Get Mythical or something like that.
Yeah.
And basically there's a t-shirt that has the Mew on it, which is like really cool. And then there's like some other things like a binder and some card backs that add like a bunch of other Pokemon to the look. Like it has like Celebi, Darkrai, Victini, but they all have like sort of like slightly different color palettes to normal. And it's like all like 80s. It looks really cool.
Nice.
I would, if I was like a t-shirt guy more, I would definitely buy that Mew shirt because it's a really cool shirt. Then also the Pokemon Ami Substitute Collection was released, which
cute.
has some really cool stuff in it, like this hoodie, which has Pikachu in a substitute doll outfit on the back, and then has like the hood has like a printed like, you know, the thing that they've been doing with the substitute is just making like giant piles of them and then having like real Pokemon in there, like sort of like having hijinks with them.
Yeah.
And it looks really good. It looks like a real, like Kelly, I think, is going to probably buy it if she didn't already.
I really would like to do that.
Is it is it expensive?
No, it's not too bad, but like I'm making a big change to my hair that's gonna be pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So I gotta prioritize.
Yeah, guys, get excited in like a couple weeks on the decks. You're going to see something crazy.
Probably less than a couple weeks.
Wait for
I'm
the
doing it
blogs
tomorrow.
to get wind of it. It's going to go crazy. But then also they added some of the Pokemon Tsum Tsum thingies. They're not Tsum Tsums. They have a different name.
Katari cuties.
Yeah, Katari cuties. And they look cute. They look almost, I thought they were slippers at first, which I was like really into, but they're really cute. So go check those out too. But that's it for merch this week. But it's all really good merch. Like usually I'm like, you know, I say something along the lines of like, why don't they just like design some good clothes? But like all this stuff actually looks cool, except it kind of all makes you look like you're an inkling. Like it's kind of like got this sort of like inkling vibe to it, but it's pretty cool. But that's it for merch. This is another cool thing. It also has to do with money, but this goes towards charity instead. Evo 2017 was running a thing this week that was all about, they had a 9th slot that was going to be on the Sunday night, the big finals, and they didn't know what they were going to do there, and there was a lot of games that were up for debate. Ultimate Marvel 3, Pokken Tournament was the main one, that's why we're reporting on it right now. Windjammers, Killer Instinct, ARMS for the Switch, a bunch of games. And by the way, this is all done now, but it was going towards Make-A-Wish or something?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
It
Yeah,
was.
all the money's going to Make-A-Wish, but whoever got the most money raised for it was going to be the one that won the slot. And eventually, in the last moments, it came down to like maybe like a matter of $3,000 between Ultimate Marvel and Pokken, and Ultimate Marvel ended up taking it, but both of them raised over $50,000. Both games raised over $50,000 for charity, which is like totally crazy.
It's awesome.
And so even though it's not going to be at Evo this year, Evo is like, we take note of this. And as a nod to the amount of money raised by these dedicated Pokken fans, they're going to go ahead and commit $10,000 of funding to tournaments for Pokken in 2017. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
I would love to spectate some of those events and really get excited about this game again. And if it comes out on Switch, you better believe that I'm going to buy that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Because we could just play, right? Like if we all have Switches, we could just like show up and like ad hoc, right? Like it'd be tight.
I mean, should be able to.
Tight. I went to Evo last year. I saw Pokken. It was great. The fights were amazing. Shout outs to all those champions, especially the junior division, which was also, we also saw the junior division at the Pokemon World Championships, which were just a delight. Remember that Charizard with the like clutch hitboxing?
Yeah, it was
It
crazy.
was so good. I can't remember the names of the champs, but if you by any chance listen to this, you're tight. Just like know that you're tight. Don't worry about correcting me. Just just know that you did a great job and that I was sufficiently impressed. Also, if you're in Europe, there's a serial code giveaway event going on right now, which gets you a bottle cap. Is it a gold bottle cap?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
I don't know
jury's
what
out on
color
whether it's
bottle
not
cap it is.
whether or not it's a gold bottle cap or not. But you can use that in your hyper training, and you can pick it up from GameStop, Game Mania, or any other video game store that's part of this promotion, and you can receive that code until February 28th, which is pretty good. Got some time on that. But just in case you don't know what that means, why the bottle cap is worth something. Basically, what a bottle cap enables you to do is to take a Pokemon that only has the correct nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, all it is nature. Like, you don't even bother doing any sort of IV training for it at all. And then you use the bottle cap to give it the appearance that its IV is max. So a regular bottle cap does it for one IV, and a gold bottle cap does it for all IVs. And basically what that means is, as long as you don't EV train the Pokemon, you can max out any natured Pokemon that you want. The only thing being that you can't, because it's not actually changing the IV stat, it's only giving you that power. It's viable for competitive use itself, but not for breeding.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that's like the way that they like maintain the value of breeding. But it also, solves the time problem for people like me who aren't going to sit there soft resetting in front of a legendary Pokemon to get one that's VGC ready. Now you just have to nature it, which still like takes some time, but isn't nearly as much time.
Significantly less time.
Not even close to as much time.
Especially if you have a synchronized Pokemon in the front of your team with the nature that you want.
Yeah,
Should
which
be
is like the
fairly quick.
trick, But seriously, like, this is huge. This is a great thing. And if you want one bottle cap for free, go pick it up from your store in Europe. But speaking of events, there's also an event right now that's giving out, in Japan, that's giving out a Machamp to tie in with a Sun and Moon advertisement, which features Japanese Olympic wrestler Saori Yoshida, who is being carried around like the Machamp does in Sun and Moon when it's doing Poke Ride. That is so tight. And if you've seen the ad, it's like, it's cute. The Machamp has double edge, bulk up, strength, and quick guard. And you can get that in Japan before February 28th. I think it's an online event, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a cool thing. If you're a Japanese listener, get me one of those. I would gladly accept it. It's very tight. Also, surprise, Pokemon Go launched a Valentine's event that runs until February 15th. That's what is that, Wednesday?
Yeah, that would be Wednesday.
Week from the day that we're recording this. And during this time, all candy will be doubled from catching Pokemon, which is great. It also is doubled for transferring Pokemon and for eggs. And your buddy Pokemon, which is the one that follows you around, gains candy at double the rate, which is great. And pink Pokemon like Chansey, Clefable, Jigglypuff, and Porygon will be much more common.
Porygon.
I'm just like, it's weird that it's Porygon.
It's
like,
pink.
Right, I get that it's pink, but
that's like the best one too, because Porygons are super rare. It's hard to get them.
I get that, but I'm just saying, like, if we're looking at like Valentine's Day imagery, Porygon just looks like a boss from like a game that came on a floppy disk.
I love you, baby. Here's a game that comes on a floppy disk. What a happy Valentine's Day we both had.
All right, I guess in that scenario,
Right?
I mean, I guess in that imaginary scenario, it's not that big of a deal. And I'm not poo-pooing it. Like, I think it's great. Like, everybody wants Porygon. He's like kind of like a cool guy.
He's the Pokemon of love.
In the Pokemon Go world, he's kind of like got some cred. But that's tight. Oh, and also Smoochum, Igglybuff, and Cleffa will be more commonly found in eggs, which is like, I think people are going to be really excited about that.
The thing I'm most excited about is that my Togepi has 39 egg candy right now. I mean candy, not egg. He's got 39 candy right now, and since buddy times for walking are halved, I only have to walk 1.5 kilometers to get a candy. Actually, wait, no, he might be a 5-kilometer guy. But even so, that's only 2.5 kilometers. Not so bad. I'm hoping to evolve him by the end of this event.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Yeah. You know what I'm excited for, though? Actually integrating Gen 2.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Yeah.
It's been too long.
I don't know, man.
It feels like when a YouTuber like is like, we're about to do a bunch of new stuff to our channel, and then they like change their profile picture and that's it.
Yeah. Like
Shoutouts to me.
Yeah.
Who does that all the time. But like that's kind of what it feels like, and for them to like kind of feel legit, that's it's not working for me too much. But that's not it. There's one more piece of news, and before I tell you what it is, go onto your computer.
Wait, also,
Yes.
also the Valentine's Day event, the lure modules last for 6 hours.
Wow.
Instead of 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. It's crazy.
Whoa.
6 hours.
That's actually the most important part of this.
That's crazy.
Guys, if you have a comic book store, this is your day. Today's your day to turn on that lure. It's going to cost you $1. Go do that. But yeah, go to your Global Link online right now. Go to the Global Link website, get your game out, sign up, get your code, log in, make sure everything is set, because we absolutely crushed the global event, you guys.
Dang.
The global event was to
Yeah.
get 1 million GTS trades by the end of the event.
By the
And
first day, it was 900,000.
yeah, it crossed
Wow.
it. It actually crossed it on the first day, and now we're much, much beyond it. It's still running till February 14th, which is Tuesday. So you guys can still get on there. It hit all its stretch goals, and that means that everybody who signs up, this is all you got to do is sign up at this point. You get a guaranteed 4,000 festival coins.
Tough
Four-
to get.
1,000. That's gonna
4,000?
that's gonna level your castle like
So much.
so much. And you get a friend ball. It's literally like 2 seconds of your time. Go sign up for it. It is 100% worth it.
And then if you use the GTS 5 times, you'll also get a rare candy if you want that too. If you just can't get enough of rewards and the concept of
Yeah, all you got to do
rewards.
is trade yourself 5 times to get that candy. Super tight. Yeah.
This is on the GTS, right?
Yeah.
Literally, you just go to the festival plaza, go into the like little lobby of the castle. If you're already signed up, you can just do it right away. And if not, it'll
You just
take
link your
5
game.
minutes, and you have until Valentine's Day. So just go do that. Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, go do that.
I'm recording a Pokemon podcast.
Right. I mean, not you specifically. I just
Right.
mean everybody. Stop recording the
Right.
Pokemon podcast and go do this instead.
Why are you listening to another
Turn
Pokemon
this
podcast while you're
off
recording
now.
your Pokemon
Yeah.
podcast?
Wow. That's a.
That's
What is
too
it? A
Bad idea.
Let's
It's
Play?
very
What are you
distracting.
doing? Why are you doing that? Please turn off this podcast if you're recording a Pokemon podcast.
Watch it later.
Yeah,
There's
check
time.
it out. It's going to be distracting. Anyway, that's dumb. All right. That's the news. Pretty good news week.
Pretty good news week.
I'm feeling really excited about the like Pokemon is like people are starting to accept Pokemon as a competitive sport, kind of, right? Like
Yeah.
people are sort of like respecting the VGC. People are starting to respect even Pokken, which I thought was just like done. TCG is getting a big shot in the arm with the new Pokemon Sun and Moon sets. This is like the time when everybody who doesn't actually play the game like comes out and buys a pack or two.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, yeah, this is the new game. Yeah, this will be
They
fun.
want to see the new Pokemon.
Maybe I'll learn how to do it now.
They don't understand why there's still like a Zubat card in there for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's the
a good
news. So now that we're done with that, let's jump right into the Fanswers segment.
Fanswers, da 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 da. Fanswers, da 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 da.
Yep.
Yeah.
This segment, the Fanswers segment, is where the fans write in their answers. And so instead of using those two words next to each other, we noticed that fan ends with the same 2 letters that answers starts with. And we were able to combine them. See if you can stay with me. Yeah, combine them
JK.
into one word.
I knew it.
But basically what happens is we discuss something during the week, and everybody responds to it, and then we read it the next week. So that's what we did today. It was a really light mail week this week. I don't know what happened. I don't know why we didn't get any fan mail. But if you are trying to send in some fan mail, please send it in to thedexcast@gmail.com. Again, that's THEDEXCAST@gmail.com, and that's how you get them read on this week's podcast or the following week's podcast. Just like Nick is about to get his email read.
Yo.
Thoughts on Sun and Moon's music is the name of it. Here we go. Hi there, everyone. Nick here. I have a question for all you guys. Where does Sun and Moon's music stack up compared to the other Pokemon games for you? I personally love the music, and it might be some of my favorite from a Pokemon game ever. Anyway, thanks for reading this. If you do, I'll be doing the hashtag Davis run in Resident Evil 7 when I get the game. Heck yeah. If you guys don't know, when we did Resident Evil 7 on Scary Game Squad, somehow we just completely missed the shotgun. Just like completely missed it.
Yikes.
We went and fought like 2 of the main bosses of the game, basically like 60% of the way through the game, maybe 50 without it. And Davis ended up like slaughtering the like mom boss, who is just disgusting, by the way, with a knife. And it was like so epic, but like it was crazy. Hashtag type boys, hashtag later man, hashtag not sorry for the length of my email. And you shouldn't be, because it's an adequately length email. In fact, I might even say it's short. So
Wow.
good on you.
Big statement.
Good on you, Nick. As far as the music goes, I gotta agree with Nick on this one. I think like honestly, the towns, like I never like find myself humming along to the music like I do in this game. It's so good.
Definitely one of the front runners in the main series, I think.
Yeah, and a lot of the times for me, the battle music is like too over the top, and it's like not in this game.
You know what? I feel bad because we're finally done recording our Let's Play, and I feel like I talked over the entire soundtrack of the game, and so like I was so maybe like self-conscious about like what are we going to talk about during this Let's Play that I haven't really like sat down and like gone back and listened to it. I mean, like from like we pointed it out a couple times when there was cool music, and we were like, oh, this is great.
Yeah,
I love
like,
this.
you know, like what about like?
But I really just want to like sit down and listen to it. Oh yeah, that one's
so
great.
good.
That one's
and
so
the
calm.
Poke Ride song.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, still all about Team Skull's
Like
encounter
Guzma,
theme.
like yeah.
I mean, that one, like their battle themes, yes, but the Team Skull like theme, like the that one is like
That's a tight song.
it. I think Sun and Moon more than a lot of the games, maybe not more than Gold and Silver, but I think it more is showing a diversity in the roots of like what the music comes from. Like it's showing like a genuine understanding
Like
of what
hip hop
music
versus
like that.
like electronic music versus like, you know, Hawaiian folk music kind of
Right,
vibes.
like you couldn't listen to this soundtrack all the way through and find like a consistent like everything sounds similar.
Right.
Not in a bad
it is
way.
cohesive though. Don't get
It's
me wrong.
yeah, it's cohesive, but like what the inspirations are for each of the songs feels like it's clearly like well channeled through, which is like how I think that Johto did that as well. Like they were able to separate the very like classic Japanese feel of Johto from Kanto, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So
With you
I
100%.
think the Sun and Moon does that really, really well.
Yeah, shout out specifically to the Howley City theme, the Poke Ride theme, the Elite Four theme, which I love, and the Blue remix is so good.
Oh, the Blue remix is great.
The Blue remix is so good. It has like real guitar in it. It sounds like.
Also, just like probably one of my favorite Route 1 themes in a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so funny. We were just talking about this downstairs with like everyone at the office, and we were all just like throwing out our favorite Pokemon game music because it's always so good.
Yeah. they really nail it most of the time. Like I think it's so tight.
I implore you to go to a Pokemon Symphony if it's ever
Good
near your
Lord,
town.
don't mess up. Like go do it. Go
Make
do
it
it.
happen.
Yeah. But Nick, thank you for that email. Anybody have anything else they want to say about soundtracks?
They're good.
They're tight.
Tight.
We love them.
Sick.
Hashtag great.
Hashtag great. Great. This next one is from Librarian Jeff, and it's called I Get You, Jimmy.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Sure. Yeah.
Dear Dexcast, I just wanted to say I completely understand Jimmy's frustration with the Nintendo Ambassador Program. I can't believe I just said Nintendo.
Nintendo.
The Nintendo Ambassador Program.
Mm-hmm.
Try being a part of said program and then making the dumbest mistake of trading said 3DS in at GameStop to upgrade to the XL back then. I called Nintendo support and they said nothing could be done because they don't allow re-downloading of software on a separate console even if it is the same Nintendo account.
Dang.
I have lost so many games due to this policy. Hopefully the Switch changes this policy. Hashtag thanks Dexcast, Librarian Jeff.
Wow, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
The
That's
worst part,
really, that's
the
a bummer.
worst part of it is that this did not have to happen, Jeff. You could have just, I know you probably had to trade it in to get the XL, which is like where they get you at GameStop with this kind of thing. But if you just bought both of them first, you could take the original and transfer it. And so I have now on maybe my fifth 3DS, because I broke one and I upgraded for style reasons twice.
That's true, but I understand where you're going with this, but if he was trading it in for trade-in value, that's more.
No, I totally understand.
Yeah.
I think that more than it being a problem with Nintendo, I mean, it is a dumb backwards policy. Like, let's be real.
Right.
But I think it's a problem with GameStop. I think you should be able to do this type of thing at GameStop.
Like
I don't
the
know.
transfer?
Yeah,
I've
or
heard of
like
it
you can
being
like
done
pay a little
before.
bit and have the whole thing transferred for you.
Well, if they'll do it for you, great. But I just mean like, I wish that I wish that the employees were like trained to be like, well, before we do all the trading stuff, are you down to like, do you want to like transfer everything over because Nintendo doesn't allow you to re-download software? Because otherwise, what could happen is you could just buy that 3DS and get those games, which I don't think should happen, because the other possibility is that the staff person at GameStop just wiped the 3DS and basically threw your games in the trash.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I
your
mean?
ambassadorship.
Yeah. Now, as far as the Switch goes, nothing is confirmed as of yet. It's coming out in just a couple weeks, so we'll know for sure then. But it seems like they're doing a lot more like cross-platform stuff with Nintendo Online stuff lately, especially, you know, with the way that you connect your account to things like Miitomo and Fire Emblem and stuff like that, and Mario Run. So it seems like they're trying to sort of get with the program a little bit more. They're getting rid of friend codes. They're, you know, doing a lot of things like that. We have our own differing opinions about whether or not texting and messaging on your phone rather than on the console is a good idea. But like that said, it seems like they're trying to get with it. And so I believe that they're going to try and at least do something that speaks to this problem, because it's such a backwards policy in 2017. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you, any of you guys been messed up by something like this? I know you kind of had a weirdness, Kellz, right?
Yeah, you mean with Shuffle?
Oh,
I mean, like there was that, but then I got yeah, no, it was because I bought the Monster Hunter edition version of the 3DS XL.
So you didn't want to lose
so
the Monster Hunter.
I didn't want to lose Monster Hunter. I didn't realize that like as long as I hadn't downloaded it yet, I could, even if I had transferred. But like by that time I already downloaded the software, and so if I had transferred my SD card, then I would have lost Monster Hunter. And I was like, that sucks. And so I didn't do it. And then I just kept on running into situations where I was like, oh shoot, I'm not playing this game on the right 3DS. Let me just turn this off and go to my other 3DS that has the Ambassador program on it. So like, yeah, that was really frustrating. I wish I could have just shared it between all my devices. Because sometimes people have two things, and sometimes people like share things.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, yeah, I absolutely get the frustration there.
Like everybody else has been doing it so long, like
Yeah.
for like 10 years, that it's like, please, like enough with this. But yeah, I don't think you need to worry about the Switch. But also next time, remember to transfer before you trade in.
Some GameStops I've heard you can just do it in the thing.
It depends on how chill the people who work there are, but
Yeah.
like that's like not what it should depend on.
Yeah.
You know? So that's how I feel. But yeah, thank you for that email, Librarian Jeff.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. This next one comes from Team Skull Grunt Adam. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Pokemon Go plus Sun and Moon. First write-in. Hello, Dexcast. I was thinking about Pokemon Go recently and remembered that before Sun and Moon was released, it was reported that there would be some connectivity between Go and the new main games. It has now been a few months since Sun and Moon's release, and as far as I'm aware, there hasn't been any word on any of this connectivity. Do you think this feature has been scrapped? What do you think this feature was supposed to be? Personally, I was hoping there would be some kind of island trial style activity in Pokemon Go that would give you some bonus rewards in Sun and Moon. But what do you think? Is connectivity a feature you'd want? Are they waiting for the Pokemon game on the Switch, which we know will have some sort of smartphone integration? Is this what Pokemon Go needs? Would this be too little too late? Your bearded bro, Team Skull Grunt Adam.
So many questions.
P.S. My girlfriend says hi to Wallace and wants you to tell him that he's a good boy and that he should update his Instagram and Twitter more often.
Oh.
Got him. Wallace on blast.
Wallace, why don't you do that more? He's asleep right now. His eyes are literally rolled down in their sockets like he's out.
Wallace, I got 3 words for you. Search engine optimization. Let's go.
Wallace, Twitter.
All right.
Wallace.
Anyway.
But you are a good boy.
You're a good boy,
He
Wallace.
did not even wake up.
It's all right. It's all right. He's wearing a hoodie right now,
Yeah, he's wearing a little
if
hoodie.
that makes it any better. Okay, so
guess I
let's just
should
go through these
Instagram
questions
that.
one at a time. Do you think this feature has been scrapped?
No, I think it's probably going to come way later than we think because I still think that despite all its rage, Pokemon
Still
Go is
just a
still just in its trying to figure things
Earliest
out cage. Earliest stage.
Despite all my rage, I'm still in my earliest stage.
Great. So I think that that kind of stuff
world is
is
a
going to come
party.
eventually, but I just don't know in what form. And then also, I thought that somewhere that I don't know. I thought that I read somewhere that they were saying that you could eventually transfer Pokemon from your Pokemon Go into your game.
I
But
think that
I
there's
don't
going to
know
be something
what
like that
is.
that has to do with Pokemon Bank that they do similarly to the other thing. But that goes into another question, which is, what do you think this feature was supposed to be? We kind of just went into that. I think it's going to be like something where you can transfer them or like a code that gets you some fruit.
Fruit.
The world is a goal bat. Ding, 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 ding. Anyway.
I personal chime in. I think that there are few things at this point for Pokemon Go that are not going to be considered too little, too late.
Here's the thing. Is it even a problem? Because it seems like they have their install base. The people that are going to continue playing it, play it. And like, I don't know how much more they need to grow right now.
Yeah, no, I know, but I think that the fan base shrunk much more
Definitely.
much more than it needed to if they would have just like upfronted a few things
That's
as
true.
soon as they could. Not saying that they didn't do it as fast as they could, but
I think at this point, like they're grateful because now they're at a manageable, like their community is like manageable now. And so like the game is much more stable as far as I know. Is that accurate?
I don't play it, so
Yeah, it's been stable. It's been much better.
None of the like, oh, it's off.
No, none of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's been gone for a while. And the Plus connectivity is really good. It's definitely much more stable. I feel like it's using less battery and like that kind of stuff is all cool. I was just like starting to think like, it's been a while since they did anything, and then they put out this Valentine's event. But I think that in general, yeah, I think it feels like it's time for them to like start getting things back in gear.
Right. So is this next question, is connectivity a feature you'd want? Are you starting to feel like, oh, you're like my real Pokemon friend. I would love to take you to Alola.
No, not really.
I think
I
that
really don't
I would
feel
love.
that.
I think I would love for Pokemon Go to be a thing where like, I would rather have a feature like, oh man, like the map leading to a secret island is hidden somewhere in the real world. Like, find it, and then you can like go there in Sun and Moon. Like, I'd rather it be something like that.
That would be cool. That's like it's such a cool concept, but it sounds like something that wouldn't happen, you know?
Right. No, absolutely. But I mean, if there is connectivity, I don't imagine it's going to be like game to game compatibility so much as it's going to be like an event in one that gets you a thing in the other. You know what I mean? Yeah. What about you, Jimmy?
is it a feature I want to see?
Is connectivity a feature you want? Would it convince you to go back to the game?
No, it wouldn't convince me to go back to the game.
All right. Next question. Are they waiting for the Pokemon game on the Switch, which we know will have some sort of smartphone integration? I believe that he's talking about the Switch that has smartphone integration. I don't know if there's any like concrete rumors on the Pokemon game having smartphone integration.
Right. I haven't heard anything about that, but I feel like that's
The Switch, the integration that the Switch is going to have with the smartphone is that it's controllable by app. Like you're going to be able to get the parental app that like lets you like set like restrictions on the Switch for your kids. And there's also going to be like the only way to communicate via the Switch is going to be through an app on your phone. Which I already know we have mixed opinions about, but that's for a discussion later once we have the Switch. Like we can't, like I'm not going to like get in an argument with somebody on a podcast about something that's not out yet. But yeah, like that's kind of where the smartphone integration is headed. And so I don't know, like it could be that they're really thinking about the smartphone and the Switch as like two parts of an experience, like across the board, which would actually make me more excited about it, about the communication options being on the phone. But I don't know. I can't speak to that though. I don't know. I don't think that there's anything tech-wise that's keeping them from doing it right now on 3DS if they wanted to. Next question. Is this what Pokemon Go needs?
I don't think so.
I don't think this is
I
like
don't think
the
it
main
needs
thing
it.
that it needs.
No.
I honestly think that that while there is a lot of overlap between the core players of Pokemon Go and the core players of Pokemon Sun and Moon, I think there is a significant portion of people that play Pokemon Go that like are not interested in playing main series
Sun and
Pokemon
Moon.
games.
I think a large portion of people who play Pokemon Go still, especially after Sun and Moon came out, because like a large reason why I'm not like even trying to fix my hacked account right now is because I'm just playing Pokemon Sun or
Yeah.
Pokemon
Right.
Moon. And then would this be too little too late? Now, I spoke about this just a second ago, a little bit to this. I think for somebody like Jimmy who's like out, you know,
This is not going to be the
This
thing
is-
that
yeah.
fishes people back in.
but like I also don't think that, because the way that this question is phrased makes it seem like Pokemon Go is dying, and I don't think it is. I think right now it's like it's like an MMO that's like settling with its install base, and that I think that the people who do play it and are going to continue playing it for some time, and then they're going to slowly grow or slowly die as they like roll big updates out. Like Gen 2 would make me turn the game on tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like if they were like, yo, Gen 2's in the game,
Mm-hmm.
I would turn the game on tomorrow. Or like quests, I would turn the game on tomorrow. But this would not make me turn the game on tomorrow.
Mm.
Like me being able to like transfer my Alolan muck to my game doesn't matter to me because I already am good at the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that email. That was
Thank
cool.
you.
Mhm.
That was a good
for
one.
that.
A lot of good questions in there. All right. This next one comes from the same old collector Zeke, classic podcast writer inner. This one's called "But How Could You?" Pokemon Generation Impasse. Alola Dex crew, I hope this gets read because I have a bit of a problem. Well, here we go. It seems that I'm all pooped with Pokemon. The bank update did spark the flame back up with the idea of finally being able to use my cheeky pouch recycle citrus berry Dedenne to troll the battle tree, as well as dive back into my blue Nuzlocke, which I haven't touched since I started to storm Saffron City's Team Rocket takeover. Thing is, that spark quickly got extinguished upon hearing that missing Megastones will be distributed during online competitions. I was okay with special Pokemon being distributed from participating in official tournaments and the like, but having an item like Megastones being distributed just feels wrong out of principle. Those items were in the previous generation and even coded into the current one as displayed in the Battle Royal and Battle Tree areas. Plus, what if you miss the competition due to factors out of your control, like a power outage that kills your internet for that weekend, or even having to go to
Yeah.
work and just being too tired to turn on your DS? This ultimately led to me deciding to remove Megas from my team entirely. The problem that I need help with is the sad fact that all Megas that I have in Oros, and I have all of them, rely on their Mega abilities or stats to be usable. Rebreeding them so they don't rely on their Mega forms is also taking the wind out of my sails. Have any of you guys had an ambitious project like this before? And if so, where do you find the motivation to push through it to the end? I miss battling with Sriracha, my starter Blaziken, but his current moveset really relies a lot on his Megastone. Thanks in advance, Collector Zeke.
This is going to be a weird example, but I feel like I know exactly how you feel
Okay.
because
Okay.
I play very, very a lot of Skyrim,
Sure.
and I built my house. With the Hearthfire expansion. So I got really into the idea of decorating my house and making it look really cool because I'm pretty high level and I have a lot of artifacts that I have like around my home.
Sure.
But it's a really first of all, it's really frustrating because Skyrim, as you know, is very glitchy, especially with items. And so a lot of my things like keep disappearing and keep getting like put back into the original locations that they were in the game.
Right.
And so like, I feel like it's kind of like a battle, me like wanting to display my cool dragon claws, but like coming home every couple of hours and finding that like one of them's gone. Or like the sailboat that I found. I found this sailboat for the Thieves Guild and it's disappeared and I can't find it again. And it was really cool. I like had it on my like nightstand in my home. And then of course there's the fact that I don't have enough material to like finish the stock building of the house. And so it feels really empty. And I'm sounding crazy right now, but like this is really frustrating me. And it's really like, because I have to finish it. I really want to finish it. I'm trying to like make it look cool and I can't wait to show it off. But like at the same time, it's very daunting because it'll take hours for me to get things like in the proper order.
Right.
So I feel you in a weird way, but I feel like our emotions are the same, though the situation is different.
Right.
And as far as like pushing through, I just have like a very bad obsession with Skyrim, and so I can't stop.
You got to watch me try and get her to play other video games.
I can't.
She gets
I can't do
like
it.
mean to me about it almost. Like I think she just like doesn't want to stop.
I don't want to, but also it's so draining.
Yeah, I feel you. I know that feel.
I feel like I'm in its thrall or something.
Yeah. If I want to play like the complete devil's advocate to this problem, like I understand the frustration, like absolutely, like especially like because like it's pretty hard to like, as far as like things that are like somewhat easy to do, like if we're like saying like all of Pokemon is that way, as opposed to like building a barn, for example, like this is a pretty annoying thing because like online competitions like are kind of annoying to like, you got to register, you got to like figure out like what Pokemon you're going to use, or you're just going to like sort of like do it to lose just so you can get them, which like kind of feels crappy, right?
Right.
But at the same time, it is a personal choice to play the game in a meta that is separate from the one that the game is designed around. Does that make sense? So like for me, like if I'm taking the devil's advocate position, right? Megas are no longer as nearly as important as they are in the like, you know, current community of Pokemon as they were last generation, because you can't even use them in
VGC.
like in VGC.
Yeah.
And any time that you would use them is like when they're like, yep, this time Megastones are allowed, and then you would already be competing in battle competitions at that point. You know what I mean? Like, and then you would just get the Megastones. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like, I while I understand your frustration because you are somebody who wants these Megastones really bad, I think that for the Pokemon Company, they're thinking about this more as like, I think they're putting Megastones more in the category of something like the Lustrous Orb, or like the Arceus drives or something like that, where it's like, it's not that important to your experience that they need to make it easy for everyone to get. I think it's just like sort of like for the nerdy ones of us who really want the stones, like me or like you, who like really want to like get them. And then I see where it's frustrating, but I also intend to battle in the competitive tiers, so I'm going to be getting a lot of these Mega Stones. You know what I mean?
You know what's weird? Didn't we talk about this on the podcast some time ago or whenever, when someone was asking us if we thought that Mega Stones were going to be just like a one-gen thing, and we were like, nah, they're going to keep this around.
Yeah,
I think we were wrong on that.
Yeah, I do too. But you know what? I couldn't have possibly imagined how much they were willing to throw out to make the meta like more balanced and broad. And I couldn't be more impressed by it. Like when we finally like do our episode of this where we like review the entire experience of playing Gen 7, like I will have some very kind words to say about how much effort they took to broaden out that meta and fix that problem that they had these last two seasons with, especially with these like very, very similar looking top cut teams,
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's still some of that, but it's like, you don't have to follow suit. There's always new strategies to find, it seems like right now, So on the one hand, like, this is very annoying, but like to answer the question of like, have we ever had an ambitious project like this before? For me, every time I play a new generation, I make an entirely new squad, like from scratch. Like I have a 6IV Ditto in Gen 6 that I have that I will probably use to help me breed if I need to, but I don't even need to breed in this gen. I can just grind for bottle caps.
Right.
So, it's all kind of about your point of view, right? And that's how I feel about it, at least. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with that, but I think that's where Pokemon is coming from on it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I think that's a pretty accurate.
I feel awkward because I'm
zone.
like running the computer, so I like can't see you guys.
Yeah.
So I can't like ever tell if you guys are like, yeah, I'm good.
We chill.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say to Zeke? Great name for your Blaziken.
Yeah. And I don't know, best wishes.
Also, lol, cheeky pouch, recycle citrus berry, denene.
That is pretty cool.
That's super funny. But yeah, let's move on. Thank you, Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This one is from Captain CJ, and it is called My Slow Alolan Journey. Alola Dexcast, Captain CJ here, and so far I've been having an amazing time playing Pokemon Sun. However, instead of rushing through the game, I've been taking a lot of time. As I write this to you, my Pokedex is currently 56% complete, and I've only just passed the Ghost Trial.
Wow.
Yes.
Currently,
Good job.
my main guys are around level 45, but during my journey, I've caught and trained so many Pokemon, and now it's so hard to choose who should stick on the team and who shouldn't.
Oh, I know.
I've, however, decided to use the Alolan Pokemon, but they're all so good. How did you guys choose your team? I know that whenever there's a new game, I only use new Pokemon on that team. P.S. Umbreon for life. P.P.S. Pokepelago is for real. Best for all your trainer needs.
Yeah.
Hashtag Team Lit.
Pokepelago is great.
Yeah.
Well,
That's like
I feel
where
like
you are in the
I
game,
feel like
right?
I've used this caveat so many times, but since we're doing a Let's Play, I feel like on my Sun copy, I got just really attached to certain Pokemon, and so I kind of just like swapped them out, like based on like how I felt about them, because I really wanted a team that like I loved to be the team that everybody watched me play with. But I'm having the same problem in Pokemon Moon right now because I'm playing through that. And man, I keep switching people out, and I just like don't know who I want to end up with because there's so many cool ones. And I'm trying not to use ones that I used in my Sun playthrough, of course, but like there are even more than 12 Pokemon that I want to use. There's so many of them. And so mostly I'm kind of like going through it and choosing based on like a cool vibe. Like this is going to sound kind of weird, but most of my Pokemon on my Moon team are like based around like lighter colors.
Okay.
Like Primarina and Alolan Sandslash and Mimikyu, and they're kind of like creepy. I have like a creepy but like light colored vibe, like pastels vibe.
Sure.
Whereas on Sun, it was just like, oh, I caught this one and I'm excited. It evolved and I love it. So and for some reason, all my Sun guys, like almost all of them were girls or very like feminine looking.
Yeah, that was pretty like serendipitous.
Yeah.
For me, like, I kind of just like for my like campaign playthrough, because I'm gonna invest so much more time after the fact, like breeding and creating Pokemon and sort of like following my fancy there. Like, I kind of just like know when I'm done. I'm like, okay. Especially in this game, it was really easy because every time you like sort of like use the Pokemon Center, you can like really see your whole team there together. And for me, I was like, I went one time and I was like, all right, yep. This is the ones I'm going to use. And now, like, even though there's all these cool guys, like, I just got an Aerodactyl randomly a second ago. Like, even though, like, that keeps happening, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to, like, stay with the team that I have and, like, beat the game. And then, like, once I'm done, anything that still has my fancy, I'm just going to, like, actually pursue and make, like, a useful version of it. Because, like, you can't really, like, make your team from the game competitively viable unless you like spend a lot of time on it, and it's a really inconvenient way of doing that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's how I think about it. It's like, you know, don't even bother with like training up guys for reals until afterwards. But as far as like taking your time with the game, I couldn't be more down for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like this is exactly where Kellz is too in the game, by the way.
Yeah. It is exactly where I am.
As far as I've gone for choosing my team, my rule was, well, I kind of broke it immediately, but my rule was new stuff, but pretty much just stuff I haven't used before.
Yeah.
Which is true because I've never used a Drifloon and I have a Drifblim on my team. Everything else has been Sun and Moon Pokemon because I have no interest in using a lot of the Alolan forms, at least any of the ones that I've run into. And I'm just finding, stuff in certain routes. It's like, oh, like that's cool and new. I'll use that. Kind of regretting Cribrawler, aka bad stats until like the last 10 minutes of the game.
Just because it's hard to evolve him, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's not hard. It's just like,
well, it's like annoying to evolve
you are
him.
physically prevented from evolving this Pokemon
That's what I mean.
until
Until you get
90% in the game.
Yeah, until
Yeah.
you get to mount Lanakila.
Yeah. And also same thing with Charjabug. Can't evolve Vikavolt until you get to
Pony
whatever.
Canyon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, if I would have known that stuff, I probably wouldn't have gotten them. All of my pickups have just been based on like a feeling right when they pop up.
Right.
I only have 5 on my team right now, so I still have one more slot that I'm saving for Delmise if I can find it. But I hear it's super rare, so I don't.
I found one.
I didn't even see it until the Elite Four battle, and I was like, oh, whoa!
It's so dope, right?
Yeah.
super cool. Like
Really
really,
cool.
one of the coolest
Actually, I want to
Gen
like
7s.
look at. Actually, well, my phone's gonna die, but I wanted to like look it up and look at it again.
It's a jumble of ghost pirate ship parts, the Pokemon.
That's a
Great.
dream that I would like love to use that competitively. He's got some stuff that he can do.
He has that ability that gives him a stab on steel, right?
I believe so.
And he's ghost grass.
And I think he has some sort of like stay here move like Decidueye does. He's tight. But yeah, Captain CJ. Good stuff.
Yes.
Thank you
you.
for that email. This next one comes from Lorekeeper Brad. What are
What up?
legendary Pokemon? Alola! Now that you guys have completed Sun and Moon, I think it's as good a time as any to discuss one of the more mysterious aspects of the game, legendaries. Or specifically, Pokemon who aren't legendaries. The Tapu are the big ones I wanted to mention here. They're unique, one-of-a-kind Pokemon who possess great power, they have their own battle themes, they're difficult to catch, and they're the guardians of a region. Hell, they even have their own temples for crying out loud. They're called deities over and over, and they are very clearly meant to be akin to gods, and bafflingly enough, they're not legendary Pokemon. Go to the Sun and Moon website and click the Legendaries tabs. Guess who's not there? Literally, at no point in the game are they referred to as legendaries. Not even the Pokedex considers them as such. Rocham exclaims, "You just caught a legendary Pokemon when you do," and the Melee library even suggests they're not legendaries by saying the Tapu and the legendary Pokemon, as if the Tapu themselves cannot be described as such. Even Bulbapedia's pages on them very oddly go out of their way to not use the words legendary or mythical at any point when describing them. The only thing I can think of that makes them not legendary is their base stat totals, which are 570 as opposed to the minimum 580. But that's the thing. There's exceptions to every single rule that makes Pokemon a legendary. Legendaries have high stats? Nah, Fion, Cosmog, and Cosmoem definitely do not. Well, they have to be a one-of-a-kind, right? Wrong. There's been references to there being multiple Entei, and there's many generations of the Cosmog line. What about no genders? Wait, Heatran and the Latis throw a wrench in that rule too. Okay, well, we can agree that they all have significance to the lore within the world of Pokemon and were created by Arceus to serve purposes in the building of the world. But what purpose do Latios and Latias serve? Mewtwo, Genesect, and Deoxys weren't even created by Arceus, nor do they represent, guard, or create anything. Well, we're running out of criteria. What about not being able to breed? Oops, Manaphy can breed. Well, legendary Pokemon 100% can never be capable of evolving. Crap, Cosmog evolves not once, but twice. So, that being said, why on earth are the Tapu not considered legendary? They have literal legends associated with them and everything, and that's not all. Type Full and the UBs also have the rights to legendary status because they all have high base stat totals like the Tapu. The UBs have their own battle themes, and you can only get one type null in your game. And like the Tapu and legendaries, they get special mention in the Pokedex upon catching them and have sparkly backgrounds just like the legendaries do. Sure, there are canonically 3 type Fulls out there, and many of each Ultra Beast, but as we've discussed, it's not unusual for legendaries to break the rules, especially in Alola. If a man-made killing machine based on a mythical Pokemon like Mewtwo is legendary, why not Silvally? It's not like Mewtwo's an ancient guardian of the North Winds or anything, he just sort of exists. So this brings me to the big question. What the hell is a legendary Pokemon, and what grants them this status? Just thought I'd pick your guys' brains on this because it's been driving me nuts. Maybe it's something to consider for the Pokemon creation myth. Sincerely, Lorekeeper Brad. P.S., etc. Knew that segment name didn't feel right. That's actually really interesting because
I love this whole email, first of all. Like, this whole email, I think, was, like, great. And it also, like, as soon as you started saying it, I started, like, asking questions in my head, and then you would ask those questions in your email. So, like, we are on a very similar wavelength, and I just want to say, great.
Yeah. Here's what I was going to say is, like, this is exactly where my mind is at with this. And I think that for me, like, this is just, like, where my mind is at right now, having just shot the Tapu Lele episode that's going live. Like, eventually, in a couple weeks. Like, I think that the reason that they're not legendary Pokemon is because there's something about the, like, the sort of, like, pantheon of Pokemon from the Alola region that is somewhat different than the rest of the pantheon of, like, sort of like quote unquote legendary, mythical, whatever Pokemon.
I mean, just as it is with the society there too.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the reason for that is because I think that Ultra Space is a big part of Alola and the mythology of Alola, and is not a big part of any of the other mythology. And I think for that reason that I'm going to float the theory that there is a different sort of like origin myth religion or whatever it is that the story of Arceus is. I think it's alternate sort of like pantheon. I think it's literally like the difference between like, Japanese gods and Greek gods. You know what I mean? Like I think we're really going to see like, I think these are like the Hawaiian mythology versions of legendaries.
Yeah.
So I think we might see a different creator here. I think we might see like different guardians for the same thing. And so maybe that's why they're not legendaries. And, if the game is going to take the Arceus-ism point of view versus the, whatever, ultra space-ism religion, like, I guess that makes sense. But I don't know. Like, that's where I'm at with it. I don't know what you guys think.
I think that's a good way to put it. I don't really have much to add to that. Just only aside from the fact that it's specifically the Tapus who are not considered legendaries. And if you're talking about like the Sun and Moon Pantheon, does that still include Solgaleo and Lunala, who are considered legendaries? They are considered legendaries,
but I think that like the reason why Tapu Lele is not is because they have a different purpose. And I think that Solgaleo and Lunala are considered legendaries just because they're on the box. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what else there is to say about that, but I think we're gonna find that as we go deeper and deeper into their lore, that it has nothing to do with Arceus.
I kind of agree with you on that. And it was really interesting, actually, Alex, that you were talking about like the concept of multiple ideologies, because I hadn't really thought of that, because as a Pokemon player, you're like, oh yeah, I mean, like all the Pokemon games are under one, like there's got to be one lore backstory, but like it's really interesting and really kind of neat to consider that maybe there are just multiple ideologies and we don't really know the true. Yeah. Like maybe Arceus didn't create everything. Maybe he just created the Sinnoh region.
Or maybe he didn't do anything and maybe he's just an animal.
Yeah.
And like maybe there's a big difference between science and spirituality in Pokemon as well. Like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it could be something like that. So we just have to keep our ear to the ground and really
mysterious.
Tear that lore apart, Because one of the things that is interesting is that I did find one connection between this set of Pokemon and the previous set of Pokemon, and that's through Arceus and Type Null. But like, I don't know, there's not enough there for me to make a conclusion yet. So we shall see. And like, that might also eventually answer our question about Genesect too. Like, we don't know what the deal is with Genesect really either.
Like how he fits into the whole
or why
deal.
He exists really. So we'll see.
If this is any, I don't know, side note for this, I was just curious what Tapu meant, so I looked up Tapu translation in Hawaiian or Polynesian or, Pacific Islander languages. And the direct translation of it is denoting anything holy or sacred with spiritual restriction or implied prohibition. Basically, it's like something sacred, like sacred ground or whatever that you couldn't like go to without a special permission or something.
Like the ruins of life and the ruins of other things.
Perhaps I'm just saying like that could be an implied legendary by, it's legendary
because it literally is the word for holy.
But it's like sacred or holy, meaning a deity of some sort. I don't know.
Plus,
no, I'm with you there.
Plus, like we are, we may or may not be doing a special feature on one of the maybe Tapus, maybe very soon.
What?
But which means we are. But the fact that they're all based on Hawaiian deities is like real Hawaiian deities is also like very much legendary style.
It's very telling.
Yeah.
So I think there's more to say about it, but I think we need to do some more research first.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, thank you for that email. That was a great email. It's very cool stuff. Great. We got one more. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Cool. This one is from Mauricio. Here we go. Question for the podcast. Here we go. Alola, hey Kellz and Alex. My name is Mauricio Cuervo, aka Mark1246. First time writer for the podcast since I had no question to ask until now.
Yay.
I found out about you guys while Googling Pokemon podcasts and been back listening to your old episodes and YouTube channel and having a blast.
Great.
Now on to the question. So after watching your video and podcast for a while, I kind of get your personality quite a bit. Now that the dub version of the XY anime is finally done last week, I was surprised by the fact that you guys, especially Kellz, didn't mention what happens in the final episode with my boy Ash. Spoiler head of the final episode Dexcast, don't worry about the listener because probably everyone knows what happened. Here's what's going to happen. I don't know what to tell you if you don't know about this by now, but I'm going to go ahead and spoil it. Do we feel good about this, right?
Skip ahead a couple minutes, and I think I should be the one to spoil it since I watched it and you didn't.
I watched it.
Yeah, but that's because I paused it and rewind it and told you to come back and watch it.
You already got spoiled on it before you watched it.
I know, but it's so great.
Okay, well, I don't know. Skip ahead a few minutes or something. This is the last email, so maybe just like peace out right here, but it's up to you guys.
I'll just go ahead and skip ahead to avoid spoilers too.
Are you watching it?
No.
Okay, all right.
Dude. So in the last episode, Serena's going to leave and she's going to go to the Hoenn region. And she's like, okay, bye, Ash. And she like goes down the elevator and then she's like, wait. And she runs up the down escalator and like leans in and kisses him and runs away. And then it pans back and like Clement is like, ah. And Bonnie's like, yeah. And Ash is just like, oh. And then that's so good. They like finally freaking went there. Yeah. Like, out of all of the companions, I'm just calling them companions because my roommate's watching Doctor Who right now. Out of all of the companions that like Ash has traveled around with, Serena and him have like obviously had the most canon like crushes on one another. And I mean like Ash like less so I guess, but like he was totally into it.
Yeah.
Oh, but I was so happy that like Serena like made that move. She like turned into like a strong, confident girl. She is like going to the Hoenn region to like be the contest champion. She was like, hell yes, I'm gonna go kiss Ash because you know what? I have a crush on him and I want to make my move. And she did it, and I love it, and I'm so proud of her. And it was a champion moment for me.
Great.
I was so excited.
Well,
Serena is maybe my favorite Pokemon anime character.
We'll talk about it some more.
Besides Jesse James.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it more in just a second, but the email goes on. Finally getting to first base after 20 years in the anime with the best Pokemon girl, Serena. After the finale aired, fan comics, fan art, fanfic, and much more have appeared on the internet with Serena cross Ash, and the director stated in a recent interview, thanks for the translation, Pokemon fan, that Serena's story is not done, and we might even see her in the Sun and Moon anime, which every girl from the past generation has made a cameo, except from the Black and White anime, and Iris never showed up in X and Y. I know you guys don't get to keep up with I know you guys don't keep up with the recent anime. Well, Kelly kind of does. But did you guys know about this? And what are your thoughts? Because despite me being 24, I squealed when I heard it. Hashtag bring Serena to Alola. Hashtag first base. Hashtag can't believe they did that in a kid show. Hashtag I'm a guy and I like romance, so shut up. P.S. I don't know if you're watching the Sun and Moon anime, but here's a pitch to get you and the listener in on it.
Oh my God.
So because they're on an island and surrounded by water, Team Rocket literally has no way of blasting off or else they'll die from drowning. So in order to fix this, the writer decided to make the greatest Pokemon to make the show great, Beware. I'm not going to say how, but Beware is literally the MVP of the show, and his interactions with Team Rocket and saving them every time leaves me a smile because it's always something new. Here's a clip if you want to YouTube it. It's called Top 5 Beware Moments. Beware carries Team Rocket. Thanks and take care.
I actually have been keeping up with the Sun and Moon anime. It's fantastic.
It's really funny.
If you have not watched it, you gotta watch it. It's fantastic.
I'm not going to say it's
funny.
an amazing television show, but like as far as being like a fan servicey thing for Pokemon, it's like the best one in a while.
The tone is weird. It's the animation's totally different, even than like Pokemon X and Y. It's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, I loved Pokemon X, Y, and Z. Obviously, like definitely obvi. I didn't know that they were going to be bringing Serena back in, and I literally, when Alex read that right now, I like threw my head back and like kind of sobbed twice before catching a hold of myself.
We don't know for sure.
Okay, but still, like, just get on the anime if you haven't been on the anime, guys. They're just doing it up right. It's great right now. There's some like freaking hilarious stuff. And yeah, so I've been keeping up with that too. Beware is great. Mimikyu is also hilarious.
Mimikyu is like too scary.
We also Alex, like another like Nostradamus moment for you saying that they should have Beware. And who else did you say? Was it Beware and Mimikyu that we said that they might have?
Yes.
And they definitely did.
Beware, dude. It was like the perfect thing because like, remember I was saying like it should be like that big blue thing from Samurai Jack or like just like a thing that they don't want around, but it is around. That's like exactly what it is. But like sometimes they'll like get in danger and then they'll like get carried away by Beware. And the next scene is them like tied up at like a kiddie table, and Beware is like in an apron, like feeding them. It's like so cute.
Funny. It's so funny.
It's really, really funny stuff. So with that, we come to the end of this week's Fanswers segment.
I'm so glad though that the director said that like it's Serena's story is not done.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
That
what if
is
it was a
so
spin-off?
cool because like they wrote her so well, and like, you know, coming from like a girl standpoint, I get really excited when like girl characters like have like a good moment to shine. Like, you know, that's just like me being a girl and wanting to see like a cool girl.
Sure.
And if they were like bring her back and like make her like a more prominent character, I would be so happy because she's one of my favorite things that I've seen.
Would you watch a spin-off without
so
Ash?
long. Yeah, absolutely, I would. 100%.
I'd be more inclined to watch any Pokemon anime if it didn't have Ash.
That's true. That's true. Not that he like sucks as much as he used to, but it's still like, yeah.
I found that watching the Japanese version, like I like him a lot better.
In Sun and Moon, he's like too annoying in Japanese. He like screams all of his lines like,
Really?
yeah.
I mean, maybe it's because like I don't know. I don't speak Japanese, and so I'm reading the subtitles and I'm just reading them in like the tone of voice in my head that I think he should be talking in or something. I don't know. I feel like maybe like that's why I'm liking him better.
He sounds
and
like
I'm
he's
just,
in like Attack
liking
on
the whole
Titan.
thing.
Like it's like so it's like too intense. But anyway, if you guys want to respond to any of this or give us your 2 cents, or honestly, just please write us. I don't know what happened this week. I'm like freaking out about it. Like nobody wrote in. It's been like, it was so many less emails than normal. Like if you write in this week, you'll probably have a very good chance of being read on the air.
Unless there's like a paradoxical backlash of like now there's going to be like 700 emails written in.
I would love that. But please send your emails in to thedexcast@gmail.com. That's THEDXCAST@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. I'm Alex.
I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Kellz.
This has been the Dex Podcast number 125. That's crazy. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later, man.